With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Happy Shark Week, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and today we have a Jaws-sized episode for you. If you've been following us for the last few years, we've been doing Jaws each Shark Week, which unfortunately means for us, maybe happily for you, we have made it to Jaws: The Revenge. And don't worry, if you didn't watch it, you're not missing much. However, before we get there, I am Matt. With me, as always, is Lauren. And today, like I said, it's Jaws: Revenge. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, follow on Hopsgeeknews, any social media platform, any podcasting platform. Make sure you drop a review, whether it's Spotify, Apple, whatever podcast platform you listen to. Tell a friend, tell your mom. And you know what? It's Shark Week, and this is actually Lauren's favorite week of the year. So, Lauren, why don't you start us off with what you're drinking this fine beer on this fine, wonderful, calamitous day?
I'm drinking a beer that you gave me. It is called Little Troublemaker. It is a juicy IPA from Wiseman Brewing, and I thought it was good because, you know, this shark is a little troublemaker. And also, this shark is the most ridiculous shark of all 4 Jaws movies because it just looks like a freaking giant rubber shark. And this is a goofy little looking monster as well. So I thought it paired well together. And because it's the 50th anniversary of the first Jaws, the OG Jaws, I have it in my super sweet Jaws glass.
Oh, yeah.
I got this at Universal because they're celebrating it. It was only an extra $3 with the beer. It's plastic, but it's like hard plastic. I freaking love it. It's adorable.
Man, that's really cool. Okay. I remember you guys talking in the chat, and Erica got one. I didn't see that you did, so that's pretty dope. And you know, it's kind of funny that they shark. So real quick, I know we're going to dive in a second, but the fact that this movie, they were inspired by the first movie's less is more approach with the shark. And then they didn't do less is more in this movie. Yeah. So before we go into it, I'm drinking a Walter's Blonde Roast blonde coffee porter made with cacao nibs from Benchtop Brewing. I didn't really theme it or grab it. I grabbed it because the can kind of looks supernatural, which we're also going to be recording. So there you go. Have at it. But yes, Jaws 4. This movie came out in 1987. It was, funny enough, originally marketed as This Time It's Personal, and it completely ignores Jaws 3, the SeaWorld movie, and takes place immediately after Jaws 2, which is why it's not actually Jaws 4, it's just Jaws: The Revenge. IMDb has this rated as a 3.1 out of 10 and a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. Written by Peter Benchley, who wrote the Jaws novel, and Michael de Guzman, directed by Joseph Sargent, stars Michael Caine, Lorraine Gary, who is originally from the first Jaws, Lance Guest, Mario Van Peebles, I love that last name, I don't know why, Peebles is a fun name, filmed in not only Martha's Vineyard, but also the Universal Studios Hollywood lot and the Bahamas. Now, this movie made $50 million on a $23 million budget. It barely broke even. It was abysmal. It was awful. It was terrible. And to kind of jump into a fun fact before we kind of go into the plot and everything like that, So the original script, because it takes place right after Jaws 2, Martin Brody was to be the shark's very first victim. However, Roy Scheider declined to appear, and Sargent reported that the character of Brody had been dead for 18 months when we enter the story and deal with Ellen Brody's emotional problem, her obsession with the death of another member of her family. For de Guzman, it's a story of obsession and fear. Whether what Ellen Brody has in her mind is true or not will be left up to the audience to decide. No statement is being made in that regard, but it's about any kind of fear. So great. So strong that it begins to take control of human life. Geez, I don't even know how to unpack that. So why don't you go ahead and break it down? What is the summary of this beautifully done film?
So it's Christmas time, and we got one brother, Sean Brody, engaged, being a cop just like his dad, in Amity close to his mom. The other, Michael, is down in the Bahamas with his wife and daughter doing research on conchs. Sean goes on a work call out on the water, comes across a messed up buoy, and bam, Jaws attacks. While the town people are singing Noel, he's screaming for his life. Michael and his family come up for the funeral. As soon as he arrives, the mom starts going on about how the shark waited and it came for them. And she's also insistent that Michael no longer go in the water. She insists her husband died from a heart attack of fear because of Jaws. And Michael then tells her there's no great whites where he lives because it's warm. Cough, cough. That's BS. That's not true at all. There are great whites. They're not as common down there, but they are great whites. There's great whites in Florida. We know that now. Back then, it was everybody has cameras now, so now you can prove it. Like my grandmother was insistent she saw a great white in the Keys, and my grandfather said she was crazy. And then years later, I was like, was she crazy? Because now we have Catherine pinging all over Florida, and he still wanted to stick to his claims. But we know that great whites do sometimes show up in the warm water. So Grandma goes down to the Bahamas to spend some time with her other son and his family, where Michael does conch research. As Ellen, which is funny because we were recently in the Bahamas and we did a snorkeling tour, and the guy kept telling us that all the guys should eat conch, and that if they do eat conch, that their wives will be very happy. Apparently, it's a bit of
is it?
Not just an aphrodisiac, but I guess it does a little more to get going. He must have said it like 10 times.
I didn't hear this on my snorkeling tour in the Bahamas. What the hell, man?
Well, I can let you know which one we did. He just kept going on about it. It was really funny. Okay, so if you go down to the Bahamas and you want to improve some aspects of your life, eat some conch. So as Ellen bonds with Michael Caine's character, Michael Brody is out researching on the ocean when Jaws does show up. A much crappier version of the Jaws 70s. It looks rubber, like we mentioned before, but Michael starts to believe her crazy shark stalker theory. However, he chooses not to tell his mom, who suddenly tells him she's moving past her crazy shark. While Michael continues to keep the shark a secret, his business partner decides he wants to shift some of their grant money to researching this lone great white in the warm waters of the Bahamas. Michael finally agrees as they're both working on their PhD and hoping this will help, and they manage to get to tag her so they can actually track her. So that's good whenever she gets
finally,
see and hear her heartbeat. Instead of donut, they hear beep.
We hear beep, beep, beep.
It's not as fun.
It doesn't draw out any tension at all. There's no boom, 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 boom. And then shoddy camera work. There's still very shoddy camera work, but unfortunately,
it is rough.
No music to accompany.
So another day, they're back to researching conchs when Jaws attacks Michael in the water. He manages to get to a sunken ship while his little vessel he was in floats to the surface. He then rigs his oxygen tank to shoot him up to the surface as fast as possible, as apparently he's trying to die from the bends rather than dying from the shark.
It's actually, I'm glad you brought this up, because when I'm watching this scene, I'm sitting there like, dude, you can't do that. You're going to freaking kill yourself because the pressure and everything.
I actually Googled, I'm like, how deep can you be to get the bends? You only have to be 30 feet deep. And I feel like
you don't have to go deep at all. I feel like he was pretty deep, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't go to a bends tank or anything like that. They were just
he just shoots right to the surface as fast as possible.
It was like a definitely cartoon character.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's one lucky guy. So he survives, and next day Jake says, let's not go back in. But Michael wants to. He admits he's scared, but he says, I can't not go back into the water. Which I actually get that a little bit. Like, he grew up in the water. He loves the ocean. Like, he can't let his fears consume him. He's still assuming this is not a supernatural shark. So while Michael's in the water, the shark goes after his daughter while she's on a banana boat float while his wife is having her sculpture debuted. Thea ends up being okay, but another girl is killed. Grandma, Ellen Brody, is ready to get even. She's done. She goes and takes the boat, which I thought he was out at sea on. I felt like there was a little inconsistency.
I agree. And she is something in this movie. Oh my gosh. She's out here. First of all, Michael Caine's over here like, I'd quite like to kiss you. And, so she's over here schmoozing with Michael Caine's character, who, first of all, probably not a very good...
First time she's dated in decades.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. But I thought, anyways, and then not to mention, I feel like Michael Caine's not the best pilot, essentially, because he gets a shark crash his plane, dude.
No,
Like,
he
what?
landed it on the water, tailspin style.
Yeah,
You didn't hear it go woohoo when he landed?
oh my
With
gosh.
DuckTales?
I was sorry. No, yes.
All right. So Michael and Jake then grab a dinghy and they head out after Mom until they see Michael Caine, who's Hoagie, and he takes them on his plane. In the air, Hoagie tells him that his mom said the shark was coming for her, and Jake says, "Our shark?" Ellen Brody spots the shark and says, "Come and get me, you son of a bitch." She should have said "son of a fish," but I think
That
that's
sounds
Stan and Jaws.
familiar.
Right then, Hoagie spots her as the shark comes out of the water. Hoagie lands the plane next to the boat. Michael and Jake swim to the boat, and the shark goes for Hoagie. Rest in peace, Hoagie. Just kidding. Hoagie's safe. As
Okay.
Jake tries to
Oh,
put an
man.
explosive into Jaws, Jaws takes Jake. As the mother starts seeing flashes from past attacks, she then rams the shark, Prince Eric style, into Ursula. And it explodes, and everyone falls into the water, and Jake resurfaces. Then Ellen flies back to Amity Island. The end.
Ridiculous. My dude was carried away by this shark. And then it's funny because when he comes back up, of course they talk, I thought you were dead. And there's no blood in the water at all at this. Zero. There's no blood coming from him.
Well, there's blood on him. But yeah, he would,
but
I
it's
feel
not
like he would
around.
bleed
He
out
would be
pretty
bleeding
quick.
out and be dead because they were in no rush to get that man to any sort of medical attention.
Michael Caine had already called and said, you need to get some boats out here and some planes out here immediately. So he had already called. We just didn't see that rescue happen. So I'm assuming that's what happened.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I do like Hoagie. He was one of my, he's Jamaican. He's got the vibes. Like he's out here. Or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Hoagie
Yes.
is Alfred.
You're right. I'm sorry. It was hard watching this movie.
Jake was my
You're right.
favorite part of the whole movie.
My bad. Yes, Jake was awesome. He's out there vibing. The whole movie, he's upbeat, spirits, good and everything. I never remembered watching this movie, and so everything was kind of new to me because I must have just blinked this movie out. But I don't think it was ever really on TV. When did you first ever watch this movie?
I 100% watched this movie more than once growing up, but for some reason, despite the fact that I've never been to Hawaii and I've been to the Bahamas more times than I can count, I was 100% certain this movie took place in Hawaii. I have no idea why.
That's okay. I was over here thinking it was like Jaws 2 and filmed in Florida, but they were at the Bahamas. And first of all, they weren't passing that as Martha's Vineyard at all with how clear that water was. And
but Martha's Vineyard was just when she was in.
Yeah, exactly.
That opening scene, it looked like you were at Universal.
Yes.
And then when I pulled up where it was filmed, I was like, that part had to have been Universal.
Well, it's kind of funny because in that opening scene, he gets his arm kind of bitten off there and he's in the boat. And then of course he gets eaten up, but it was just hilarious how that was. Cause he didn't even seem like he noticed his arm was bitten off because it's all torn up and he's just in the boat like, oh, thank God. And then he looks, he's like, ah. And then from there.
Well, they say you have the adrenaline pumping. Like we were watching Shark Week last night and like all 3 episodes were Paul DeGelder. Do you know who that guy is? The one that he lost his right arm and his right leg to a bull shark when he was in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
He was swimming in the Sydney Harbor doing laps and a bull shark got him. And now that happened in 2009. And now he's a huge shark advocate. And he did a thing last night that was like how to survive a shark attack. And they put prosthetics on him and they were letting the sharks like eat it. It was all non-toxic and stuff. But what was my point? I forgot what my point was.
Oh, because the adrenaline and everything like that was pumping. Yes.
So when he talks about like how it happens, it's like you don't seem to feel the pain right away because of what's going on. But he looked like freaking Georgie from It. Like
he did. He was in that rubber yellow raincoat. Yes. And who's out there in the dark like that too is the other thing. It's so ridiculous. I know you've got some, buoy, all that other stuff.
Going somewhere because kids were tipping cows or something, and then he saw the buoy was messed up. I don't know.
Call the Coast Guard. I don't know. There's just a lot of interestingness in this film, but yeah, I don't remember watching this film, honestly, as a kid very much. I don't. And then, of course, it's funny because I had tried to show my actual kids Jaws 1, and they could not have cared less. And yet I put this one on yesterday, and the kids were sucked into this movie. The whole family was watching Jaws Revenge. Couldn't get them to watch Jaws 1. No, they wanted to sit there, and they were posted up for Jaws the Revenge like it was a cinematic masterpiece. That is just... What? Because when the shark, they rammed it in there was so many questions like, did the shark blow up? I'm like, yes, we also blew up a shark in the first one. Guys, I tried to get you to watch this stuff. What is wrong with you?
What are you going to do?
Kids, man. So, you've seen it a bunch. What are some highlights for you? Are there any highlights?
What is a bunch? Don't judge me.
I'm judging pretty hard. You said you grew up with this. This was your favorite film growing up.
I didn't say that.
You watched it on a laser disc over and over.
A laser disc.
Do
a
you remember those? They would
freaking
wheel out
laser disc.
the laser disc
Yes.
projectors.
I only think I ever watched any of those at school. That was
That's
about it.
honestly same. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing growing up was just the snorkeling in the water and the scuba diving and whatnot. Because it is pretty. Although watching it now, I'm like watching Michael like use the coral to like swim away, and I'm like, that's
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
bullshit. Like,
Yes.
he should not, like, if it was a real life scenario and you're truly trying to hide for your life, like, fine, I get it if you're going to kill some coral. But, like, you're filming a movie and you're touching all this, like, coral, like, that's not cool.
They're
at all.
over there like, that was a bunch of takes and everything. Yeah, they were
Yeah, that was messed
not
up.
pretty kind to the coral reefs down there in the Bahamas. And I mean, there's a reason why you see it now, the Bahamas. I mean, the reefs aren't really protecting. There's a lot of erosion happening. For instance, on Disney's Lighthouse, their new island where the cabanas are, the erosion is so bad that pretty much there's like a drop off on the stairs. The erosion
Drop off?
So, well, it's like it's come up. It's not, you don't walk from the stairs onto like a nice beach. It's just a cut, like someone chopped it down in sand because the erosion has gotten so bad, and I don't know how they're going to fix it necessarily. But that's
there's
just
like stairs to get into the
I'll have to show you.
ocean?
So like there's the cabanas on the Lighthouse Cay that are right on the ocean. So you can rent the cabanas for families. And then usually that means the way the stairs go, it would go down onto the beach. And so you can just sit on the beach. Well, the erosion has gotten so bad that the water basically is up to the stairs. And like the first step or two is now hanging off above like water almost at Lighthouse Cay. Yeah,
that's a brand new island. I wonder if they intentionally designed it in some way because of flooding or something.
I don't
like
know.
Everything in South Florida now is getting built higher up than it used to be.
You see erosion everywhere, but we're not here to talk erosion.
Yeah,
we're here to talk beautiful, wonderful.
As an adult rewatching this, my favorite parts were Jake's lines. For one, Michael and his wife are a very lovely, horny couple, and I like when Jake buys Michael the shirt for it's a complicated shirt for Christmas, and he says, "May your sex life be as busy as your shirt." I thought that was really funny.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Why was the shark only going after you? Maybe he likes white meat." Again, that was really funny. So yeah, Jake made this movie worth watching.
I like to think Jake left this lot and went and made Cool Runnings right after.
It's not the same guy.
I know, but in my head, it's like that dude should go and quit water. He got attacked by a shark, so to him, he's probably like, "Screw this! I'm never going back in the water."
I'm gonna go to the snow.
He went and he joined the bobsledding team because then he would be as far away from sharks as humanly possible.
Jamaican bobsled team. There's sharks in the cold Arctic. They're just different types of sharks.
Not on a bobsled trail for the Olympics, though. But I will say that I do really enjoy not only Jake, but there's that sequence where the kids, they're all out there on the beach and the kids are all on that banana boat thing, that raft, I guess, and they're just bouncing up and down. It was the most ridiculous. And then just the shark casually comes out and eats that one lady in half. And it was so bad. It was hilarious. But they do the slow zoom in. So everybody's they're doing their whole thing. They slowly pan in to the look of horror on the mom's face and then the other lady's face. They don't yell. They're just like, this slow zoom in.
Going for like Brody in the first movie, like that iconic shot.
I think that's exactly what they were doing.
When, because I listened to the Then and Now Supernatural podcast, and they do a lot of behind the scenes, like the directors come on and film editors and all these people. And there was a specific episode. They're like, it's called like a specific something where they do that. And they're doing the Jaws shot, the close up on Brody's face. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Well, that's exactly what they were trying to do there with the mom and then the other lady for sure. It didn't have the same effect as when Brody's on the beach. And
because Brody was shocked, I guess. Well, and it wasn't his kin in the water.
It would have been his grandson, wouldn't it?
No, I mean in the original Jaws.
Right.
So it was he was like shocked, but like he didn't have like a duty to go out and risk his. I guess maybe he's a cop. But like the mom and the grandma both stopped running into the ocean. They just stopped.
They completely stopped, and it was hilarious because they didn't care that much for the kid then, I guess, because the shark,
Right.
oh my God. And then it's funny because then you see the shark slowly swimming away with the body still hanging out of his mouth, just ha ha ha, but it's so slow
And then
motion
it just goes
ridiculous.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and this
whole
shark
scene.
would sink too. Like I've never seen a shark in all the Shark Weeks I've watched. I've never seen a shark just sink.
No.
They glide down, they swim down.
Or the fact that I love a couple of the shots where they have the shark doing things. It's almost like a Madonna music video or something where they tried to like shake the camera and make the swirly. So it's the shark's doing all this thrashing and whatever else. And it's just so bad. The camera work is so awful in some of those sequences where the shark is doing some of those, like the way they tried to do it. And then they overshowed the shark for a team that was inspired by the do more with less, show more is less, or show less is more. They show this damn rubber shark way too much. It makes you laugh instead of be terrified like the first Jaws necessarily would have. It just made me laugh. And my daughter, Harper's like, why are you laughing? She's getting killed. I'm sitting there because this shark is ridiculous. Look how awful this shark is. Terrible.
Well, and they didn't use any actual shark footage either, which they did in the original Jaws. So even like underwater when it's not even attacking anything, it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, they used real shark footage. Yeah, this is the last Jaws movie that they made, isn't it?
Yeah, because they
okay, thank you. I was going to say this is the reason.
We're done here. Yeah. I mean, they've done a million, things that aren't actually Jaws, but that are called Jaws, like Santa Jaws.
Oh God. I mean, you got the Meg, you've got Santa Jaws, Sharknado. I mean,
yeah, we're not in short supply of future Shark Week episodes.
I was
Our
about
first
to say
Shark Week was Sharknado.
It was because we had Thunder Levin, who was the writer for Sharknado, actually. So maybe we have to pick back up in the franchise after this because woof. So yeah, no, this movie was this production all around was something. And let's dive into fun facts. So why don't you kick us off with some fun facts about the production of this movie?
So Michael Caine said, quote, won an Oscar, built a house, and had a great holiday. Not bad for a flop movie, end quote. So he was paid $1.5 million for 7 days of work in the Bahamas. And his schedule was so tight that the producers were unable to spare him so he could attend the Academy Awards. And then he went on to win Best Actor in Supporting Role, Oscar for Hannah and Her Sisters, not for Jaws 4. However, he's never actually sat down to watch the movie, but he says he sees the house.
I was going to say, yes.
Regularly that the movie paid for.
I was going to say, he said, they were like, have you ever seen the movie? And he's like, no, but I've seen the house it paid for. And that's such a flex. Because if I was an actor, realistically, who knows when your next job is going to be, who knows when you're going to eventually be flamed out or whatnot. So I take a movie like Jaws 4 if they're going to pay me a lot of money, especially at the time. 1.5 in 1987 is a pretty good sum of money. Now, granted, Michael Caine has done just incredible movies. I mean, the dude was Alfred in Batman.
Miss Congeniality.
That's Carrie. When I was like, he's Alfred. She was like, no, I know him from Miss Congeniality. I was like, all right.
She's not wrong. Yes. We knew him in that before we knew him as Alfred.
He's in every single Christopher Nolan film, pretty much. But yes, you did know him. Yeah, because Miss Congeniality was before 2004. So yeah.
What's interesting though is how many people have turned down being in these movies when Jaws is such a staple in our country, and like it's such an American cliche. Like
it's a July 4th film. Yeah,
it's a July 4th film. It did amazing things for the horror industry. It did terrible things for shark, which we're still recovering from. But at least we have learned our lesson with that. Like Peter Benchley was even like, maybe I shouldn't have written Jaws because people got scared and started killing sharks. But I feel like Shark Week is doing a great job educating people. Like sharks are not the enemy. But you would think that people would be like, yeah, sure, I want to do this just so I can be part of the Jaws world. Like in
you can
Walking
say you were
Dead,
in that, yeah.
Or Star Wars, like what you have people be a stormtrooper just because they want to be part of it. And here everybody's like, yeah, no thanks.
I'm good. Thank you. Well, I mean, Roy Scheider absolutely hated filming Jaws 1. He only did Jaws 2 because he was contractually obligated and it got him out of his other film obligations with them. So, I mean, I get it. Funny enough, though, go ahead.
No, you can take it.
I was going to say, this is actually Lorraine Gary, Ellen Brody's last acting credit. She came out of retirement for this one. And then it sent her right back into retirement. Coming out of retirement, I'm doing it. I'm doing Jaws of Revenge. Nope, going right back.
They needed at least one familiar face, man.
She got paid, man. All right. No hate there.
She said no, and they came back and offered her more money. Which, good, they should. If they're going to pay Michael Caine, who's not part of the franchise, $1.5 million, pay her.
I mean, yeah, especially because she's the continuity between 1, 2, and this one.
Yeah. I
Completely
don't know.
forget
Was she in the third one? I don't know if she's in the
No,
third one.
she wasn't. She was in Jaws 1 and 2. They completely pretend the third one doesn't exist. And I can't say I blame them, but I think the third one had a lot more redeeming qualities in this movie.
I think I just liked that it was at SeaWorld, and I thought that was funny. I don't know, because the third one too, remember that was a 3D one where the shark attacks the
Well,
glass?
there was that scene in this one where the eel jumps out and Carrie goes, "Oh, is this meant for 3D?" And I go, "No, I just think this was just a terrible
just a
jump scare."
yeah. And like Amore eels are never like that. They're always hiding.
They're hidden in like the dark coral
in the
holes
cave.
and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's continue with fun facts.
This one's a sad one. So Judith Barcy, who played the little girl Thea, this was her last movie before she actually passed away at the age of 10, just a year after this.
Depressing.
The only reason I included this was because Lance Guest, who played her on-screen father, Mike Brody, actually served as a pallbearer at her funeral. So I thought that was very sweet and cute. And obviously he must have created a bond with the kid while filming.
Oh, yeah.
So I felt it was worth sharing solely because of that. But yeah, that's tragic. I wonder what her parents think of the movie. I wonder if they can like pull it up and see the sweet parts of the film, or if it's traumatic for them to watch.
That's a good point. Yeah. As a parent, I guess it's one of those double-sided things, right? Because as a parent, you'd want to watch, oh, that's my kid and have memories of that. But also it's sad because that's my kid, 10 years old. It's ridiculous. But Dennis Quaid was asked to come back as Mike Brody. He also turned this down. At this point, Dennis Quaid was doing bigger and better things, I guess. I don't really know what it was back in 1987, but he was too good for Jaws Revenge. I can tell you that much.
Too good for Jaws. Maybe he'll only do it if it was at SeaWorld again.
I don't want to travel to the Bahamas. That's another thing is some of these movies.
I want to go to Orlando.
You get to go on vacation, right? They're filming in the Bahamas, for example. Like some of these are vacations.
Yeah, but have you heard some of the stuff with White Lotus in Thailand?
Oh,
like people took turns like getting sick.
That's a different thing because the filming is so long for White Lotus. This movie was filmed in just 9 months. So actually this film was made in less than 9 months, with production commencing in September of 1986 so that the film could be released the following summer. The film was shot on location in New England and in the Bahamas and completed on the Universal lot. As with the first two films, Martha's Vineyard was the location of the fictional Amity Island for the opening scenes. Delays caused by the mechanical shark and the weather led to concerns about whether the release date would be met. Many critics actually suggested that the rushed production compromised the quality of the film. The film was marketed with the now infamous tagline, like I said, "This time." You make it sound like an action movie. It's like Terminator 2. "This time, it's personal. I'll be back." Signed, Jaws. "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
I also think it's interesting too, because like Sharknado, it's like they lean into the campiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's absurd even in that, but the actors take the absurdity seriously. I don't know why this falls or misses the mark. So
well, because Jaws was a serious film. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's
it was
what it is.
a
They
straight
started off
serious film. And I guess when you're filming in the Jaws universe, you want to play it as a straight serious film. But I feel like at this point, we're so far removed from the seriousness that was Jaws that you almost need to lean into the campiness.
I suppose. Did you mention the Golden Raspberry Award while I was looking at Dennis Quaid's career? Okay. So Bruce, the rubber shark.
You did all right.
His name's not actually Bruce. Bruce is the first one, the OG shark.
How dare you stand where he stood?
I also didn't see claspers, so I feel like it must be a girl. I don't know. Whatever. The rubber shark was not. I tried to look. I'm like trying to look underneath the shark.
Wow.
Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Okay. So was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actor in this movie, thus making him the first animal nominated for one since Jaws 3D's Shrieking Dolphins, Cindy and Sandy. So look at
Come on, man. The dolphins saved the day in Jaws 3D, okay?
Those Jaws to dolphins were terrible. It's whatever. Wow,
they weren't great, but I mean, they saved the day and they served a purpose, but this rubber shark served zero purpose.
If you want to know our thoughts on Jaws 3D, we did do our Shark Week episode on it last year.
Every summer.
Yeah, this is our fourth year.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. This was the first of the Jaws films not to be the first in the box office that weekend. RoboCop beat it out, funny enough. And the 1930s Disney Snow White cartoon re-release. Imagine we're going to re-release Snow White and it's going to beat out your Jaws film. Tell that and Jaws, when it first came out, tell that to them and see how that goes over, because that's insane. Insanity. but I can't say that I blame him. I mean, I don't care for Snow White, but I would probably see that over Jaws.
I don't know. I'd probably watch Jaws forever Snow White.
But okay, actually, Jaws: The Revenge, though, I do feel it's a good film because I love baddies. We all know that.
At no point was I like, oh my God, I have to stop watching this. But I did. I was laughing when I wasn't supposed to be laughing.
It wasn't a slog to get through like some of the movies we've watched on this, and I will say that I found it comedic. I love bad movies. Again, it's not a movie I'm going to search out and watch on the reg, but in terms of enjoyment, if you want to like just drink a beer or just you're in a crappy mood,
play a drinking game.
Yeah, or if you're just in a crappy mood and you need something to cheer you up, I do recommend movies like this because they're so ridiculous. You cannot help but laugh. It's just so, and then a young Michael Caine is still suave. The guy was out there suave, handsome, and
the gambling problem.
He's got a gambling. He had a lot of issues, all right, but that doesn't.
It's not even his plane; it was his employer's plane.
Listen, that just has nothing to do with him being suave and handsome and pulling Martin Brody's widowed wife. Okay.
I did like when Michael got like concerned about him with his mom, and he's like, well, he's asking Jake, like, well, what do you know about this guy? When did he arrive? Because so many people fly into the Bahamas with drugs. Did you know Castaway Cay used to be, that's Disney's first private island. That used to be a place where they would smuggle drugs. I forget what the original name.
It's still not. Maybe the mouse is in the drug game now.
There's still a pathway you run the 5K on it, and it's a airline.
Okay, I think I want to try to run the 5K maybe while like the family's at the beach.
It's not a great 5K. But I'm not going to lie. A lot of it is just like in the sun and on pavement.
Oh, do they? Because they do the runs. That's right. They do like the actual, you get like medals and stuff. So they'll sometimes do like.
Yeah, the medal's adorable. It's a little rebel medal. Oh, it's called Gorda Key or Gorda Key. It's actually Key, but we all say.
Do you have to sign up for those runs? Do they do them every time they go to that island?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm. And you can, they used to have it like they would just do it in the morning, but now I think you can run it at any point in the day.
And then how do you like sign up? And
I think just go to guest services when you get on the Mickey boat. I haven't done it in years. I've only done it once.
Oh, I guess I'm going to do it in December.
Although I almost wanted to do it last time because then I saw they have a new medal and the medal is really cute.
Oh, well, like I said, I guess I'm doing it in December. So I guess I'll let you know. All right.
Do it.
Final thoughts on
a Christmas ornament.
Jaws: The Revenge. Do we have final thoughts? My final thought is it deserves a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is probably about a 1 star out of 5 for me. Not great, but listen, okay? Not everything's 5 stars, all right? Not everything is Fast and Furious to me, okay?
I'd rather watch this than Fast and Furious.
Are you? No, that's because Josh bullied you into feeling you can't enjoy Fast and Furious.
That is true.
That's terrible.
But I love anything that I get to see the ocean in too.
You can see plenty of ocean in Fast and Furious.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was really bad, but I didn't hate it. I don't know. Maybe I feel like a 2.5 is generous. Maybe
it's
a 2.2 out of 5.
A 2.2. That's even weirder. Okay. I'm not even doing the math on this one. Just know we thought it was not great. And if you want to listen,
worth watching. And this is going on my list of movies that aren't Christmas movies that should be Christmas movies.
Oh, that's a good one. When we do that and get into Christmas mode here in a few months. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I do forget that this is around Christmas. 3. Yeah. Okay. We don't need to talk about. I would rather watch this than Iron Man 3. I said it.
Yikes. I'd rather watch Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 has redeeming qualities.
No, it has
redeeming qualities. It's because they messed up the Mandarin, which is why people hate it. But they redeemed the Mandarin in Shang-Chi.
Loathe Iron Man 3 for reasons which we will need to do like an MCU rewatch thing to throw up on Patreon, and since
because that'll be super fast, an MCU rewatch.
We don't have to go through it fast, okay? But
we're gonna be 80 when we finish.
Till we're 90. We're doing this till we're 90.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, okay?
We have to include Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cloak and Dagger, Runaways.
You're the one that's adding
Peggy Carter.
So much to this.
Inhumans.
Everybody go like, subscribe, share. If you want to listen to more Jaws content, go back to our last year's episodes. Maybe if I find them and feel overzealous, I will add them in the show notes. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. I'm not the most perfect person ever, but I try. And Fantastic Four is out, so go see it. No spoilers. Go watch, however, Shark Week. Go pet a shark. Go donate to the ocean.
Don't pet a shark. Don't do that.
Oh man, but I would love to pet a bear. Can I pet a bear?
I don't care if you pet a bear. Don't pet a
Oh
shark.
God, bears are big, just puppies. Thanks for hanging out.
Don't pet a
Cheers,
bear.
everybody.